78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. For those who don't know, now you know. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. All right, man. So I watched the last episode, the final episode of All Access, the epilogue. I watched that, enjoyed it. A lot of behind-the-scenes information. I also watched the fight again, the replay of the fight. So I recorded it when it first, when I first ordered the fight. So I probably done watched the fight about 10 times, 9 or 10 times by now. Just looking for different things, looking for stuff that I might not have noticed the first time. And every time I watch the fight, the less shocked I am. Okay, the first time I watched the fight, complete shock. What's wrong with Earl? I can't, man. What is this, man? Crawford ain't never looked like this before. What's going on? Second time, it started drifting away. Third time, definitely. And every time I watched it since then, I can actually see why everything happened the way it did. I don't think this is some grandiose conspiracy. I really don't. I know a lot of people got their own opinions. You got a right to have your own opinion. I know that going into the arena, Errol Spence didn't look right. I saw that from the jump. I said, "What? He looked like he just woke up. He looked sleepy, like either that or he high or something. He ate an edible. He just eyes looked sleepy and glossy when he first walked into the arena." Okay, now I stand on that. That's what I believe. That's what I saw. However, when they got into the ring, I thought Errol Spence looked ready to go. He looked like he was ready to fight. He started the fight off looking like he was ready to fight. I thought Terence Crawford, on the other hand, looked more nervous than anything. Terence Crawford looked nervous. It took him a minute to get into the ring. He was, he was talking to himself, kind of like, psyching himself up a little bit. He understood the moment he was in. And I think Terence Crawford had a lot of nervous energy. I think Errol Spence was more relaxed. At least he was appearing to be more relaxed than Terence Crawford. And I think Crawford just beat him. Bro. What happened is Earl, listen, you can call this an excuse, whatever. I don't care what y'all say, because a lot of you dudes, y'all use terms like fanboys, but you can't smell your own doo-doo. Because a lot of you dudes and women or whoever y'all is, y'all are what y'all despise. You are that. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason Errol Spence hadn't fought in a year and a half, okay? That's too long to go in between fights, especially if you're going to be fighting a guy the caliber of Terence Crawford. That's just the facts of the matter. You can call it an excuse. I call it a reason. I call it facts, all right? So Errol Spence hadn't fought since the Ugas fight, okay? And his next fight he wanted was Terence Crawford. They couldn't get a deal done because Showtime and the PBC didn't want to give a guarantee and a lot of other stuff to Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. They didn't believe in the fight. And they were trying to make Errol Spence fight Keith Thurman, okay? They stalled the fight out. If the fight would have happened right then, who knows? I'm sure Earl would have put up a much better fight than he did in this fight. But they didn't make the fight happen. Terence Crawford went off and fought David Venetian on Black Prime, Stay Busy fight. And I think that was in like January or something, or December. And Earl chose not to fight a tune-up. He chose to wait on Terence Crawford, right? And he waited, and then we got the fight in in July. You know what I mean? So Earl hadn't fought in a year and a half, and he felt confident that he can go in there and beat the likes of Terence Crawford. Crawford was fresh. He's the fresher of the two fighters. He just was. You know what I mean? He was faster than Earl. He did a lot of things. A lot of Earl timing was completely off. I saw several times in the fight where Earl, you could just tell his timing was horrible, man, especially on defense. Like, he could not even predict. Like, I saw one time on an epilogue, they showed a clip with Earl. He anticipated a Crawford punch coming, and he closed his eyes instead of blocking. He just closed his eyes. And Crawford didn't even throw the punch. But then when Crawford saw Earl with his eyes closed, he's like, well, I might as well throw one. Earl opened his eyes. Crawford started throwing the punch, and Earl closed his eyes again. He didn't even put his hands up or duck. Now, all this is happening in slow motion, right? but in slow motion, you can see the reaction time, how fast Crawford is, and how slow Errol Spence's reaction time was. That comes from being rusty and being out of the ring. I think Errol Spence will put up a much better fight in the rematch. Okay, they go up to 154. He might still lose to Crawford, but he'll put up a much better fight than the one he just put up in July. And I think that's what Errol Spence is looking for. I want to say this too. Errol Spence is a grown man, bro. Solid dude. I respect him. I respect the way he handling his defeat, the way he handling his disappointment. Makes me proud to be a fan of Errol Spence. The man stood tall on it. You know what I'm saying? His family and stuff was very disappointed. And shout out to ldbc. Walked back with Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A real homie. He walked back there with him. With his arm around him, around his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And after defeat, because you know some people, they ride hard with you when you up, and when you fall down, a lot of people try to distance themselves from you, like you're gonna hurt their brand or something. So salute to ldbc and all the real ones out there that really rock with Earl. His family was disappointed, but Earl, you know, he handled his disappointment very well. He handled it like a man, and I was proud of him, bro. Just watching that epilogue, watching him with his family and stuff, and you know, and how he handled that, I was definitely proud. You know what I'm saying? That he wasn't, you know, too pouty. He wasn't like, you know, looking for reasons or excuses. Because, like Earl said, if he have an excuse, he's not gonna give it to you. So if he did something wrong and he knows he did something wrong, he don't even want to talk about it. He like, look, man, I know what went wrong. I'm gonna come back and fix it. I'm not gonna take away from Crawford moment at this point in time. I'm just gonna come back next time and fix it. That's cool. I'm with that. That's life, man. That's manhood, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people is in shock right now. Behind this, still in shock. It's been like what, a week since the fight, and a lot of people still in shock behind it, and don't want to accept the outcome and stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? I want to talk about something else too. These attacks on Errol Spence, bro. It has been some disgusting attacks on Errol Spence. Like, man, this is just disgusting. Some of these dudes, I ain't gonna name their name. I don't even want to even mention them. I'm just disgusted. I told y'all these dudes weren't nothing to begin with. You know what I mean? These Uncle Ruckus dudes will be running around here. Y'all keep sharing their videos because y'all like something that they said. This man, get out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, now these dudes attacking Errol Spence, but Paul Pierce, man. Paul Pierce, who was known as the Truth, is gonna say, "Oh, yeah, you ain't the Truth. You can't be out here calling yourself the Truth. I gotta give you that name. You can't be out here just calling yourself the Truth. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give you that. You know, shut up, Paul Pierce. Dude, get out of here, bro. Like, this is what I'm talking about. You see how, bro? This just disgusts me, bro. With our community, it really disgusts me, bro. Dudes are such D riders, right? The moment somebody lose or fall down, here come a crowd of people gathering around. Ooh, yeah, man, talking bad about him. Now all of a sudden, Paul Pierce want to come out talking about Errol Spence ain't the truth. Paul, you played in a team sport, bro. You won one championship and you had a squad, homie. You had Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, yourself, Rondo. You had a squad, bro. And you won one championship. Not even courtesy to you. So get out of here, dude. Stop. What are you talking about? Somebody got to go through you to be called the Truth, man. Sit down somewhere, Paul Pierce. Just sit down somewhere, dude. It's just sad, bro. But I see a lot of that attacks on Earl. You got people out here talking about Errol Spence. Never was that good. And this and that. Man, come on, man. This is so we can't even open our mouth and say something about Earl without somebody saying, "Oh, that's an excuse. Y'all not giving Crawford his credit." But then you dudes who supposed to be Crawford fans run around talking about Earl wasn't never that good. So if Earl wasn't never that good, what did Crawford really do then? If Earl wasn't never that good, what did Crawford really do? See what I'm saying? How good is Crawford really if Earl was never that good? Man, cut it out, bro. Things like this happen in life, bro. It happened. You win some, you lose some. But see, I'm a grown man. I understand defeat. You know what I'm saying? Because I've tried a lot of things in life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of ventures and stuff like that to make sure I can provide for my family. You know what I mean? I've tried some of everything. You know what I mean? And I'm successful at most of them, but sometimes I fail. Sometimes you fall down. You got to get yourself back up. You got to get your money back right. All that kind of stuff. That's just grown man stuff, man. Like all these weirdos don't know nothing about it because they never put themselves in position to fail because they never put themselves in position to try. So it's easy for some dude sleeping on his auntie couch, you know what I mean, to criticize Errol Spence and everybody else who out here shaking and moving. The movers and shakers of the world, man, is not going to be criticized by people who ain't doing nothing but watching their life pass by, watching the world go by through your window. A lot of y'all dudes are stuck on Instagram and stuck on Twitter, and y'all think that that's the real world. You know what I'm saying? You done got so you done got so brainwashed by the internet that you think that Instagram and Twitter and YouTube is the real world. You know what I'm saying? And that's become your real life. Sadly. You know what I'm saying? But Errol Spence is rich, bro. He's rich. Him and Crawford got silly paid off of this fight. You know what I'm saying? They sold good pay-per-views. You know what I mean? Errol Spence did what he was supposed to do. He fought Terence Crawford. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The way this man being treated right now, the way, instead of people uplifting him as a warrior and saying, hey, shout out to Errol Spence, not making no excuses, man, went out there and he fought Terence Crawford. Instead of people uplifting him, people clowning him. And this, I'm telling you right now, this is going to affect of these other fights. This is why these guys don't want to fight. This is why the guys at 135 don't want to fight. People are afraid to lose, bro. They're afraid. They're afraid to lose, and I don't blame them because they know what y'all going to do. Y'all act like y'all support them now. The moment they take an L, the moment they get knocked out, the moment they have a bad outing, y'all going to make memes about them. Y'all going to cook them. That's what y'all do. And you say, oh, that's just part of the game. Well, okay. Well, them ducking is a part of the game. Them being strategic is a part of the game. I understand why Tank Davis only fight dudes named Julio Iglesias. I get it. It's going to bring money to the table, and it's going to keep all you knuckleheads at bay because if he fight one of these brothers and he lose, he gets styled on or something, man, imagine what they're going to do to Tank. Oh, man, Tank was never that good anyway, man. Man, look at dude, man. Imagine the memes. Forget about his success story, coming from where he came from to make something of himself. Forget about that. Y'all going to clown him. Same thing. Y'all already clowning Devin Haney for nothing. So imagine if he lose. Y'all going to be on here having a field day clowning him. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson. All these guys. You know what I'm saying? They listen, the reason why we ain't finna get these fights, bro, that we won't is because of the way y'all act. All right? Look at Errol Spence did not have to fight Terence Crawford, bro. He was in a perfect position to duck Terence Crawford. Perfect. Crawford turned down the last deal. Errol Spence could have said, look, man, I tried to make the fight, y'all. You know, Crawford didn't take the deal. He wanted to go to Black Prime, so I'm finna move up to 154, man. I'm not finna wait on this dude. He could have easily done that. Fans would have just been arguing about who was better. You know what I'm saying? But you might not never seen the fight. At least not at 147. He could have done that, but you know what he did? He said, you know what? I gave the fans my word that I was going to fight Crawford, so I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to make my team give this dude everything he wants to make this fight. And y'all can't even respect that, bro. Y'all can't even respect that. Crawford respected because he know. Without Earl, he would have never got a chance to display his talent like this on this stage. Never. He'd have been fighting Joe Blow, beating up Joe Blow, and nobody would have cared. Errol Spence gave him this status that he has now. He needed Errol Spence to show his talent, show his skill set. You understand? So Earl is saying he want to get it back. Right in the ring, he says run it back. But everybody else is saying, nah, man, Earl need to retire. No, Earl, something wrong with him, man. He's something wrong with his brain. No, I mean, he was in that car accident, man. He can't be the same after that car accident. No, man, Earl got, what y'all want the man to do, retire? This is ridiculous, bro. He's a boxer. He's a fighter. He's a warrior, bro. Of course he want his get back. I don't understand why some of y'all even watch boxing. What is the point of y'all watching the sport of boxing if all y'all do, what's the point of you watching the sport of boxing is if you're so wheezy, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, no, I can't see that. Oh, bro, that fight wasn't that bad, bro. You watch that fight and you take all your emotions out of it. You see what I'm saying? See, it's bad because you're like, oh, we hardcore Errol Spence fans. But if you take that emotion out of it, the fight wasn't that bad, bro. He just got beat up. He got beat up. Crawford beat him to the punch. He landed flush on him and stuff like that. This was not the worst beating I ever seen in boxing by far. Not even close to the worst beating I ever seen in boxing. Not even. Because if you think this is something here, and everybody panicking, bro, this is what I mean about the society just getting soft, bro. Because if you think that was something that warrants Errol Spence having to retire, his first loss, oh man, look at what happened to him. He retired. Bro, you can't even compare none of these dudes to the old school fighters then, if that's the case. Because when Sugar Ray Robinson then was fighting, bro, come on, fam. Right? These dudes would fight. Sometimes these dudes would fight every week in fights like that. Dudes lumped up. Commissions letting them fight anyway. Doctors' notes acting like they're okay. Can't see out of one eye. Still fighting. Warriors, bro. But we wheezy over this. Come on, fam. It's just getting a little ridiculous, bro. It's getting a little ridiculous, man. I mean, I think Terence Crawford handled himself very well, considering a lot of things that was going on. I know he was happy and the stuff he had to go through, and the stuff that was said about him. I know he's happy that he got a chance to prove his greatness and all of that. And I know Errol Spence is disappointed that he didn't get a chance to do the things he wanted to do, which is why he wants a rematch at 154. And I'm all for it. But people talking against it is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Let them dudes get their money. Let them get their money. Let Errol Spence get a chance to that's the whole point of a rematch clause, bro. The whole point of a rematch clause is something go wrong with you in that first fight, you can come back in the second fight and exercise that rematch clause. You know what I mean? I don't see what the issue is. But yeah, anyway, the fans themselves have really upset me. You know what I mean? Just man, on the internet, just running their mouth, talking greasy, you know what I'm saying, bashing Errol Spence. And you got people making up stories now. You know what I'm saying? You got people literally making up false narratives, people faking pictures and stuff. And you know, these ain't even Errol Spence fans, bro. These are trolls. They're trying to make Errol Spence. People who want to argue about this fight still, they making up fake narratives, acting like Errol Spence fans and making up all these excuses. I seen somebody make a picture of Errol Spence. They photoshopped and like edited it to make it look like he had some dents in his face and stuff, and talking about some Errol Spence has dents in his head, and trying to make a mockery of Deontay Wilder and stuff, trying to make it look like Errol fans is out here saying stuff like this just so they can make videos like, oh, these Errol sexuals, these Errol fans are out of control. It's all set up, bro. It's all set up. It's all set up. Scam. You know what I mean? That's what the internet has come down to now, man. Straight setups and scams. I'm not buying none of it. Errol Spence ain't saying none of this stuff, and I'm not believing none of this stuff, okay? Now, as far as I go with this, is Errol Spence didn't look right to me walking into the arena. I said that on fight night. He didn't look right walking into the arena. His eyes were glossy. It looked like he just woke up or he was high. Now, only he know the answer to that. Okay? So going into the ring, he didn't look like that to me. He looked like he was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He was relaxed, ready to go. Crawford looked nervous going into the ring. Crawford looked like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, man, you know, like this is it. This is the moment for me. You know what I'm saying? Crawford was in his zone. He had to glow. You know what I'm saying? That Bruce Leroy joint going on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know a lot of people shocked that Crawford took Errol Spence's power, but he never really got caught flush. He never got caught hit on the chin by Errol Spence. He got hit upside his head by Earl. You know what I'm saying? A few times. You know, even the style of gloves I thought was like weird. I thought Earl and Crawford both had the same ounce of gloves on, but Earl's style of gloves just looked way bigger than Terence Crawford gloves. Errol Spence gloves was like wide and like real pillowy looking, and Crawford gloves was tight. They was real tight, like made to for destruction, made to knock somebody smooth out. You know what I mean? You could just see that in the gloves. You know what I'm saying? When Crawford had his hands closed, there was like small little balls. Earl's gloves look like pillows. So even in the choice of glove selection and all that, I just thought Team Crawford did a better job all around of preparing for this fight. They studied Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? They studied him. They broke it down. While All Access is showing everybody all these little Bo Mac and them in there playing around in the gym, joking around and all this stuff, what they really was doing was in the lab. All Access didn't show you that. So you gotta be careful with these All Access shows like that, because you gotta remember they got hundreds of hours of footage, and they edit that down to a 30-minute show to create a certain narrative. That's what all these shows do on TV. You know what I'm saying? Reality shows, all that. They take all this down and they edit it. Because I knew one of these little chicks who y'all might know. I ain't gonna say her name, but she was used to be on these reality shows, and she told me like so much stuff go on in them houses and stuff that they're in, but when they actually rewatch the show, it's like what? Like the way that they can create a narrative, the editors, the way they can create a narrative and make it look like two people beefing that really only had a disagreement for 3 seconds, but they'll make it seem like, oh, this is good for the show. So they'll edit it to make it look a certain way. You know what I mean? And they'll create a false narrative. So people at home, we watching it like, oh man, she wrong for that. She didn't have to eat the last Oreo cookie. She knew that was that girl Oreo cookie. Whole time, this is messed up. This is camera stuff, man. This happened 3 days apart, but they edited it to make it look like it happened the same day and all that. Bro, you can't fall for this kind of stuff, bro. This is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? All Access edited that footage to make it look like Errol Spence and them was in there locked and loaded, training hard, and Bud and them was out there playing freeze tag. That's what they did. So you gotta be careful when you watch these shows, man. But regardless of the fact, Errol Spence and Derrick James now have to go back to the lab, and they need to do film study together. Earl, you can't be above film study. Now you have to study Terence Crawford and look at what went wrong. Look at how he was beating you to the punch, and look at how he was countering you. Because Crawford is a very much better counter puncher than Earl. It's nothing Earl's gonna be able to do about Crawford being a better counter puncher than him. So what Earl's gonna have to start doing now is to anticipate the counters and set traps. Right? He's gonna have to be his reaction time is gonna have to be much better. His timing is gonna have to be on point, because that's the only way he can beat Crawford is to have his timing on point. You know what I mean? Because every time he would reach in, you know what I mean? Like Crawford was setting him up. Like Crawford would throw a jab to the body, and he would anticipate Earl throwing a return jab to the body, and then he would just count, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be predictable like that. All this type of stuff. When Earl goes back, him and Derrick James, and rewatches the fight, they're gonna see all those mistakes that they made, and they'll be fine. They'll be fine. He come back, put a much better showing on. Maybe he wins, maybe he don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be riding with him, and I'm gonna support Earl in this rematch. You know what I'm saying? That's how that worked. You know what I mean? And I wish him luck. Wish him nothing but the best. But this is good because when times like this, it show you who your real friends are. All the fake hangers on and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, they're going to fall away. They're going to drop off. You know what I'm saying? That's good. Let them drop off because they ain't mean you no good anyway. You know what I mean? Let them guys drop off. I bet you Terence Crawford got a bunch of new friends now, a bunch of people that want to be his friends now. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks ago, they didn't care nothing about Crawford, you know. But now, since Crawford has defeated Errol Spence in the fashion he defeated him in, you know, this is what you got. You got all these people from our community. Oh, I ain't never seen a whooping like that before. Oh, Lord. Whoa, whoa. That man got whooped. Oh, man. You don't think he know he got whooped? But this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, I just don't understand these people, bro. I just don't understand our people, bro. Everything funny to us. Everything funny to us, boy. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. Like I said, I'm not mad at the real Crawford fans. The ones who I know is real solid Crawford fans. You know what I mean? They got a right to be proud. You know what I'm saying? And talk a little trash and all that kind of stuff, man, because they had to suffer through a lot of abuse. You know what I'm saying? Getting blocked and timed out for nothing pretty much, you know what I'm saying, for years. You know what I mean? So I expect them to talk a little spicy, but as far as these Johnny-come-latelys who don't really care nothing about Terence Crawford and the ones who I know didn't buy the fight, a lot of these dudes didn't even buy the fight, bro. Straight up. Man, a lot of these dudes didn't buy the fight. A lot of these dudes sit around on YouTube, hanging around in YouTube guys. You know, the YouTubers who be calling the fights? See, they order the fight, and then they call the fight. A lot of these guys just be hanging around in their chat, listening to the play-by-play, and then they run to everybody's chat afterwards, the post-fight videos, and talk greasy as if they seen the fight. And then they wait until YouTube, somebody upload some highlights on YouTube, and then they start talking jazzy. That's what a lot of them did for the Devin Haney versus Lomachenko fight. You know what I'm saying? The Devin Haney versus Lomachenko situation, bro. A lot of them dudes that ordered that fight. Them dudes was right here on YouTube, in somebody live stream, listening to them, and then run around talking about who they thought won the fight. Like, bro, get out of here. You tell these dudes that they look at ESPN highlights because ESPN put out a highlight clip that showed Lomachenko in highlights from the 10th and 11th round, right? So that made you think that that's how the whole fight went. So all these dudes were around, oh, man, Devin Haney got destroyed. Man, I had no way you won that fight. Man, Lomachenko was destroying him. Like, bro, what rounds did Lomachenko win? Man, I don't know, but I know he was destroying them. That's what I mean, bro. It is what it is, man. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on the matter, bro. Shout out to Errol Spence, the truth. You know what I'm saying? The big fish. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for him, man. I'm proud of him. You know what I'm saying? He got life-changing money for his family. You know what I'm saying? Let these other dudes sit back and hate and you know, enjoy their miserable life that they got going on or whatever. But Earl bounced back. You know what I'm saying? And like the homie who sent Earl that message, you know what I'm saying? When he bounced back and he get it back in blood, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to jump back on. Don't try to jump back on. Oh, man, Earl, man, I knew Earl could do it and all that. Man, get out of here, bro. Get up out of here. Same mess y'all did to Deontay Wilder. Everybody was yelling bomb squad, and then he lose the fight to Tyson Fury under suspicious circumstances. Then all of a sudden, you know, everybody making him a meme and making fun of him, talking about excuses and this and that. But like I said before, these dudes talked about Wilder for 2 years, tried to break that man mentally, tried to mentally break this man when the man wasn't even talking to nobody. They kept talking about this dude and excuses and this and that. Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez losing Lomachenko, not Lomachenko, but lose to George Kambosos. Man come out here and say his esophagus exploded. Talking about he had air in his lungs. All kind of nonsense, bro. And not only that, the man said he had an injury to his right arm. His leg was messed up. He stayed at 135 too long. Nobody on YouTube cooked Teofimo Lopez. They did one video about it. That's it. They do one video about it, and that's it. But with Wilder, they talked about this man every day for 2 years. for 2 years tried to mentally destroy that brother. You know what I'm saying? Tried to break him. But it's always different with them other people. Teofimo, he get talked about for a day with all his ridiculous excuses and antics. What about Lomachenko? When Lomachenko lost to Tio, oh, Top Rank wanted me to lose. Oh, it's this conspiracy. I really wanted to fight. I was really injured. You know, Loma, every time Loma lose, he got an excuse. None of his losses were ever legit. He lose to Salido. Oh, Salido was too big. He came in overweight, and he was fouling me, and he was a dirty fighter. That's why I lost. They robbed me. He lose to Teofimo. He lose to Devin. Every one of them, he got an excuse. Nobody cook him. Nobody want to cook him. Nope. But y'all talking about Wilder excuses. Errol Spence ain't made one excuse, and y'all cooking him anyway. Still cooking him. Still talking about the man every day. Talking about his fans and all this old Earl sexuals and all this weird stuff. So this is what it is, bro. At the end of the day, this is why I am the way I am. This is why I conduct myself the way I conduct myself. You know what I'm saying? This is why 78 Sports TV got the slow road to 100,000 subs, baby. Because I'm not tap dancing, not for one day, not for one fighter, not for one fight, not for one moment. I'm gonna tell you how I feel at all times. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hypocrisy on this YouTube. It's a lot of hypocrisy on the internet in general, but especially on YouTube when it comes to how these fighters are treated. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So at the end of the day, man, that's my opinion on the matter, man. 78 Sports TV. Salute to the mighty ldbc. Smash that like button, y'all. Hit the subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you be notified when I drop a new one. And I'm up out of here, though. Deuces.